Are you sick of feeling stuck? Have you been in a slump for a little too long and you are just ready to get out of it? Honestly, we have all been there, but in this video, I want to help you finally get out of that slump and start feeling just a little bit of motivation once again. Let's get into it. Being in a slump can be very difficult, and you might crave motivation. You might crave changing things, but your body physically can't. So please take the things that I'm going to talk about. I have about 15 things that you can try to get yourself out of a slump. But I also want you to listen to your body and rest if you need it. The first things first is to connect with your inner child. Do something like coloring, drawing, get crayons and a coloring book, crafting of some kind that you can just sit and do either at a desk, a table, maybe even in bed, if that is where you feel the most comfortable, but kind of go back to play and just exist in that moment. Because the biggest part about a slump and what's keeping you in the slump is that you want to get out of it. Like, you hate the feeling of being in the slump. And so you want to redirect your body to things that can, one, take your mind off what's going on around you, and you can just create something tangible. It might not feel productive to you, but you are creating something and making something, and it can just kind of be soothing, especially coloring. Next is positive self-talk. Please be kind to yourself. This can be difficult because you just want to either berate yourself into like, come on, get up, get going. Like, why aren't you doing anything? We need to get XYZ done. But if you do that, you're just gonna feel worse, especially if you're not in a space to get out of your slump yet. Be kind to yourself. Encourage yourself. Say, you know what, we got out of bed today. You know what? We're gonna relax in bed today. It's gonna be okay. This is only a for now issue. We are going to be able to work through this. Next is to love every version of yourself. If you have been on my channel at all, you know that I say that I want you to become the best version of yourself while loving every version of you along the way. And that means loving this version of you, the one who is in the slump, the one who can't get out of bed, the one who is doom scrolling every night, the one who's staying up at 2 a.m. You have to love every version of yourself because it makes you who you are. You might despise it. You might just wish, like, why can't I stick to something for a week? Why can't I go for a walk or to the gym? Or why do I pick bad foods over good ones? Have to start learning that being kind to yourself and loving every single version of you while you are building your life and turning into the version of you you think is the best one. There's going to be so many versions of you. You might as well start loving this one because the next one that comes around is also going to need your love. Celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small, and get excited about them. It can be as simple as brushing your teeth. Cheer yourself on for doing it. You can cheer yourself on for going for a 2-minute walk, for walking around your living room. You can cheer yourself on for when you put the phone down and turn that doom scroll off. You can speak out loud. Thank you for stopping the doom scroll. You did such a good job today. You just brushed your teeth. That's amazing. Like, get excited about the tiny little things so that it shows your brain that it's okay. Next is to start reframing rest, especially in this society, and especially if you are somebody who, girl boss, boss babe, took on 8 different side hustles, wanting to just do as much as possible and fell down like that hustle culture spiral. Rest is probably very hard for you. I know it was for me, and feeling like you have to be doing something at every single given moment, or if you're not doing something, you're failing. That is a very hard thing to break, but it will be so beneficial for you if you can start reframing what rest will look like for you. Because having a whole Sunday where you do nothing, where you have no plans, no alarms, no commitments, and you can just exist in the moment, that might be laying in your bed and binging your favorite TV show. That might be going for a walk and getting a bunch of stuff done. You've just allowing yourself to have no planned days and just existing in the moment where you can do whatever at any pace and be okay with relaxing. You're going to be able to actually show up in your day-to-day life with less burnout, with less slumps, because you're giving yourself permission to relax, to take the break. On top of resting, you also want to take brain breaks. Relax that mind of yours, especially if you are an overthinker like me. And so brain breaks are an activity that takes you away from hard mental work, allows your brain and body to rest. You can put brain breaks throughout your day. They could be 5 minutes, 20 minutes, wherever they need to be in order for you to actually center yourself so you can go back to the tasks that need to get done. Next is to give yourself permission to fail. So I actually went to therapy, and my therapist said this to me once when I was just talking about all of the things that I wanted to do, and her response was, it looks like you need to give yourself permission to fail. And my perfectionist little heart's brain imploded because I was like, oh my gosh, failure? What? I have to give myself permission to fail? And it made me realize that failure is a part of success. You cannot be perfect. You cannot be perfect. And currently, being in a slump might make you feel like a failure, but give your permission to fail. Failure is truly just a lesson. It is trying something, seeing what didn't work, and then trying again. And so if the past slump that you've been in, you've been taking it easy, you've been stressed, overworked, things are happening, whether it's work, relationships, your space, whatever it is that's causing you to not want to do anything, you get to learn from it. Because you know what? You're going to get out of the slump. You're going to feel motivated again. And then you know what? The chances are you're probably going to hit another slump, but you're going to have the tools about this slump that you're getting out of in order to prepare yourself for the next one. Be able to shorten the time frame where you feel stuck and unmotivated and climb out of that faster because you're constantly learning about yourself and what you need and allowing yourself to rest. And a big part, I feel like, of our generation, I'm a millennial and also Gen Z, is social media. Consume less content, please. Lower your consumption, set limits on your app so that it kicks you out of the app so you can't use it, because social media truly, it can be amazing. It can connect you to things. It can make you laugh. It could be silly. It could be awesome, but then it can also be very detrimental. And the biggest part, like I even noticed it today when you're like scrolling, you see something that makes you giggle, you scroll something that makes you like have a pit in your stomach out of like sadness, then you scroll again and you're laughing, you scroll again and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of intriguing, you're learning something new, and then you scroll again and there's like a devastating story about something, and then that's literally all of those emotions happened within what, a minute, 5 minutes? Like that is unusual. Like our bodies are not equipped to handle that emotional change as quickly as it is. And one of the things that I did years ago, and I haven't really had to do it anymore because I kind of broke that habit, was I left my phone, I got an actual alarm clock, and I left my phone outside of my room. Because what would happen is that I'd wake up in the middle of the night, not be able to go back to sleep, and then I'd pop on my phone and start scrolling for a few hours, and I would be awake, but I'd also be consuming just anything and everything and feeling crappy, and then going to bed and only sleeping for 3 hours and then having to go about my day. I was miserable. It was not a good time. And so when I put my phone outside of my room, I was able to force myself to go back to sleep without needing to scroll. Then one of the biggest things that I have always wanted to do is think my way out of a slump. If only I could have the perfect plan. Make a Notion dashboard, write a list. If only I had the perfect plan, I'd get out of the slump. And the thing is you can't think your way out of a slump. Your brain might want to go, but your body needs the break. And you just physically cannot do it. You can't put the load of laundry in. You can't cook a full, well-rounded meal, so you're just gonna skip. And the thing is, those things are okay if you need them. So next is nature. I want you to get outside, even if it is standing on your front porch, standing in your backyard, just standing outside your house or going down for a walk down your street, or you can even drive to a different location if that makes you feel better, going to a creek or a pond or whatever you have in your area, because nature is actually so helpful. The thing is that it's always so annoying when I feel like I'm in a slump and then I finally get myself outside and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why they tell you to get outside, because it actually works. Listening to the sound of water trickling, birds chirping, it's soothing, it relaxes you, and it connects you to the nature around you. Next is movement. If you can even just get up and just like shake your body out, that is one thing you could do just to change your vibration and change the state that you're in order to just see an immediate difference. Next is community. And the biggest thing that a lot of us do, I self-isolate when I feel stuck, and I know I do it, I recognize it. And so one thing that I do try to do is to be around people. Even if it is just texting somebody or FaceTiming with somebody or sitting in silence while you watch a movie with somebody or going to a coffee shop and you're around strangers, like just being around other people can help you get out of a slump, because we do need connection. We do need it. And I know that it sucks because I struggled very, very hard. I self-isolated for a few years and I feel like you just couldn't make friends. Like you could not make friends. And I have made one friend through Bumble BFF, and I'm actually so happy that I took the chance. Like we've gone for coffee a few times and we both are writing a novel, and we've had a few writing sessions together, and it's actually been so great, and I feel so grateful that I took that chance. But I want to tell you that it took me did I have Bumble BFF? I think it took me 2 years to find somebody on Bumble BFF and go out and actually meet them. Like I'd been on there like swiping. I felt like that process was really weird too, like swiping on a friendship. But it took me that long to actually initiate a conversation, hold that conversation for a while, and then commit to meeting up. It took a while. And so building your community is one of those things that can take time, but it is beneficial for your overall well-being and can help you whenever you do get in a slump. Next is clutter. I am a big believer in a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind, and cluttered minds don't achieve their goals. Cluttered minds don't feel motivated. And so if there's one thing that you could possibly do, whether it is take the dishes out of your room or put all the dirty clothes into one corner on one chair so there's at least a clear space on your floor. Just one small thing in order to change like the vibe of your room. And lastly, one of the things that I have done is affirmations. And the go-to affirmation that I've used is the financial abundance that I seek is also seeking me, and there is nothing that stands between us. And so that was the first one I heard on TikTok, and it has helped me so much. But you can essentially change the financial abundance part to anything. The motivation that I seek is also seeking me, and there is nothing that stands in between us. The healthy habits that I seek are also seeking me, and there is nothing that stands in between us. So you can truly change this to fit what you truly want and recite it as much as possible. Write it down in your journal, tell it to yourself in the mirror, just think it as much as you possibly can. You have to make the effort to seek for something, but you can also trust that it is going to come to you. So that is everything that I have for you in this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like, or you could subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you are looking for a little bit more motivation, I did post a mid-year glow up video that has a lot of journal prompts that can help you just dive into what you want, where you're at within 6 different areas of your life. This could be a good jumping off point for you to just journal everything out, brain dump everything out, and then help you realize where you want to focus your energy depending on certain goals. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!